My name is Santosh Babu. I have done my MPhil in International Relations from Jawaharlal University, Delhi. Socially, again, my father was in the agriculture department, and right now, after retirement, he works as a farmer right now. We have a farm and he takes care of it. Preparation for UPSC was long and arduous. I actually cleared in my third attempt. Given that I was very good in studies in my college and university, I expected it to be a easy task, but it turned out it was not quite easy. In my first attempt, I took the language papers quite easily, and I ended up failing in one of the language papers. That is my mother tongue Kannada. In my second attempt, because of lack of preparation for interview, I got lesser marks in interview, and in my third attempt I ended up correcting all those mistakes and ended up clearing and got into the IPS. In government service, we believe that there is place for everybody. There is place for a person who works really hard. There is place for a person who wants to relax and work. But again, the whole point of joining civil services was to help as many people as possible in this lifetime, and that is something I feel police service in particular has given me lots of opportunity to help lots of other people. So again, consistent effort in terms of gaining knowledge and being empathetic to people who come and approach you with their problems. That is something has given me a sense of pride in work and also given me appreciation from my seniors and the public. In strategy for appearing UPSC is a little bit dicey one because each individual varies a lot, but if I have to say very succinctly, I would say one is detailed preparation. No matter how good you are in college or your university, you will be competing with your equals. That is, every single good candidate from any university from across India will be competing in the same exam. So you have to be prepared to compete with all of them. That is one. Then second is there is no shortcut for hard work. You cannot prepare by reading guides and other things. Of course, any of the preparatory material can definitely help you from any coaching institute or anything like that. But all said and done, you will have to read the original textbooks also, so that you have command over the subject you are reading. Then you also have to remember that the person correcting your paper, especially when it comes to the mains exam and the essay papers, they'll not have lots of time because they'll have to read like similar papers on a daily basis. So you have to make sure that you put your point across extremely well in the given limited number of words. That also means that you answer point wise, not in a huge essay form. There is no need to vomit everything on paper and come back. You'll have to put it across very well, and the points you want him to see should be highlighted. Again, that's an art which you have to develop over a period of time. So that is one thing. Secondly, as far as interview is concerned, there is no need for preparation per se, but what you can do is basically in the interview they are not looking at your knowledge or anything like that. They are looking for a good person or a good human being. So the best preparation for that is to be a good human being all the time. That will also help you in the long run in your service also. And never separate. Again, like many people after getting through mains, they fail to prepare in terms of subject wise for interview. Again, that is something you need to keep on brushing up and prepare well. And both prelims and mains and interview, it is a whole year of preparation. There is no need to distract yourself by preparing only just right before the exams around 1.5 months or so. If you are thorough and through and realize that if you fail in any one part of the exam, you would have lost one whole year, I think that will be a better way. You have to realize the seriousness of it and prepare through and through. Starting early again definitely helps. Again, a person the moment you are curious about everything around you, the entire world around you, that is something which every child should be encouraged to do. So If you are a person who kind of wants to know how things work and why things are the way they are, that includes again politics, science and technology, economics, social science, statistics, anything like that. If you are a kind of, always if you are a curious person, it definitely helps. Again, not just for civil services. In fact, one of the standard things that people assume is, why do you need to show so much to be a police officer or to be a income tax officer or to be a administrative officer? In the job, I realized that it is extremely important to know, the more you know, the better, because your judgment and perception of things once you join service needs to be as widespread as possible. Your understanding of things needs to be as widespread as possible. And that is something I always observe, that it definitely helps in our job also. So if you start in school or if you start in college, again, there is no need to start civil services preparation. Just being curious, just learning something out of passion, pure passion, rather than for the sake of exams, yes, it definitely does help. My message to all the young aspirants would be, please come into service with a motive of service and service alone. Like, do not come into service hoping for any kind of glory or for the sake of money, because that is something you can achieve in lots of other ways. This is an opportunity where you can lead a very, very satisfied life. You can live a very contented life and a meaningful life if you are a person who is oriented towards service. If you are a person who feels that, before you die, you should help as many people as possible, and if you are a person who wants to make positive change in other people's lives, then this is definitely the job for you. And that is something which I really wanted, and I am glad to say that this service has offered me a tremendous opportunities to do so, and it has also widened my horizons. Before joining civil service, you can always stand outside and abuse the government or government servants, about why they are so slow and why things happen the way they do. But it's only once you come in, you realize the power is in your hands to make that change, and you can do, as far as your own jurisdiction and as far as your own area of work is concerned, you can definitely make that change. So please do come in again with a good heart, with an open heart, for the sake of service and service alone. The essential qualities for a successful leader would be, the primary one would be to see yourself in the other person's shoes. The person asking the people who work under you, you have to assume yourself in their role and see why they are not motivated enough. Like, if you were in their place, what kind of leader would you have expected above you? That is something that is, basically being empathetic is something that is extremely essential. Then secondly, being fearless, in the sense that if you have to say no, you have to say no, and if you have to say something in any place openly, you will have to be bold enough to say it without bothering too much about the repercussions on yourself, on a personal front, I mean. And a third most important quality is something which I observe lacking in some people is, when somebody has done something morally right, it need not be rule-wise right, but if somebody has done something morally right, you need to stand by them and support them no matter what the cost. Again, no matter what the cost to you. It is very easy to put the cost on an organization, but it's very difficult to take a personal cost or a personal hit. That is something that is always expected out of a leader. You should never sell out your subordinates just to make yourself look good, or in the fear of making yourself look bad. That is something you should always be willing to take, because in the long run, that is something that is always appreciated. And since we all want the same thing in our seniors, we should always give the same thing to our juniors as well. Thank you.